I'm using my microphone because this is too important to leave unheard, okay? So, on TikTok, it says that Reform wanted to bring a UK version of I.C.E over to these shores. From my understanding, it is not actually Reform that said this, but the Conservatives that said this, which is worse, and I'm going to explain why. Many Conservatives usually find themselves shifting over to Reform. A lot of people in Reform are ex-Conservatives. So, if Conservatives are the ones talking about bringing a UK version of I.C.E, and Reform have already talked about scrapping indefinite leave for migrants, wanting to scrap the European Union Human Rights Act. Let's be absolutely clear. It is not a matter of whether or not this is going to happen. This is absolutely going to happen. They've been leading up to this for quite some time. Okay. The question is, when is it going to happen? That's the real question. And I might be talking to only myself as a TI here, but if you're a targeted individual and you're watching this, if you believe in integration of races, if you believe in gender equity, if you believe in equity among ethnicities and groups, if you believe that people deserve freedom, and you are a TI, and you're not a far-right supporter, and you're not a conservative, understand that you are going to have a hard fight. You're going to be by yourself for the most part. And if you find yourself by yourself, make yourself as self-sufficient as possible. Make sure that you want for nothing. Make sure that you are able to leave where you are at a moment's notice. Make sure you're able to fight. Make sure you're able to go even further than that if it's necessary. And yes, I'm going there. And yes, I'm taking the risk at a time where popular news stories, seem to revolve around black people with knives. I'm not stupid. Okay, I know what I'm risking by saying this at a time where black people are scapegoated for crimes. I know what's going on here. But you have to understand, Advance UK have been training and recruiting people. These far-right groups have military backing behind them. It's either ex-military, paramilitary. They've got military and police backing behind them. When they take your life, when they take unwilling sacrifices, they bolster their own strength. Willing sacrifices, from what I've seen, is usually not as powerful as an unwilling one. From what I've seen. Okay, it's not gospel, so don't take what I'm saying as gospel, but that's what I've observed. Okay, and what you don't want to be is an unwilling sacrifice to this fucking system. That's not what you want to do. If it comes to it, be prepared to fight and ensure that nobody takes you alive. Everything that I'm saying right now is going to get me locked up in an asylum. Good. It means that I have more people to warn. It means that I have more people to potentially spare from the fates of so many targeted individuals who were left-leaning, who believed in equality, that have already died. Go ahead and lock me up. I'd be saving a lot more lives than that mental health hospital ever would. But it's not a matter of whether or not this will happen, the ICE thing will happen. It's a matter of when. And it's not a question of how severe. It's a question of whether or not you want to be taken alive. And believe me, if you understood what goes on in concentration camps, you will know you don't want to be taken in alive. You don't. And this country has been making concentration camps out of mental health and psychiatric facilities already. They're prepared to go further. If the NHS can't rely on tax money to pay for the ever increasing bills that they have, that means privatization. Privatization means patients are not patients anymore. They are numbers on a ledger. It's the same for hospitals. It's the same for prisons. It's the same for fucking, anywhere where people are institutionalized. The second private money comes into the equation, especially if the Human Rights Act is scrapped, or duty of care goes out the window. You do not want to be taken in those places alive. And it's not if, it's when the UK becomes another Nazi dictatorship. You do not want to be taken alive. I am telling you that right the fuck now. Be prepared to stand on your own as much as possible. Be prepared to save yourself. If you are a targeted individual, your family have betrayed you and themselves to this regime. They are already a write-off. If you have any friends that have betrayed you and you've lost them, good. In fact, you're not the one who lost them, they lost you. Leave them behind. Leave the dead to the dead. Now is not the time to take family or friends or anybody who is not willing to accept the truth and who is not willing to fight. Now is not the time. You've got to leave them behind. You got to leave them behind, because we are in the midst of a global grip of fascism. Global. Anti-black and brown sentiments are spreading like wildfire and increasing and getting increasingly. Yeah, it's increasing. You've seen that from my fucking comments alone. It's increasing. You've seen that from my YouTube alone, with that woman talking about like wanting to exterminate Muslims. If you are a targeted individual and you have health and strength, whatever little health and strength you have, listen to me. Prepare to be alone. Prepare to be alone and prepare to save yourself. If there are any other vulnerable T.I.s along the way, help them. Help them where you can, but prioritize saving yourself. This is not a fucking joke. The rest of the world have already decided to double and triple down on their bullshit. And by the time they come to accept that gang stalking is real, that's when they're going to get ready to act, and it will already be too late. Leave the dead to the fucking dead. I've said this for more than a decade. Leave the dead to the dead at this point. Get what you need from people. I'm sorry to say this, but you've got to treat your relationships like they're transactional. Get what you need from people and dip. Make sure you stay as independent as possible. Don't let nobody become an albatross around your neck while you have health and strength. And if you don't have health and strength, lean on the people who are healthier than you, who believe you and who want to do the right thing. They are the ones who are going to have to fight for you. But I'm sorry, like my fellow T.I.s, it's every man for himself. And this community, especially people within this community that are left-leaning or liberal, that are fucking, that believe in racial equity and gender equity and like LGBTQ plus rights, like any targeted individual who believes in all of that, time to dip. Time to dip. That's why I'm not worried about this eviction shit. I got bigger fish to fry. I got bigger things to worry about. I was writing down a whole list of things that I wanted to do for my small business or make a small business. Time's up. Time's up. This is a waste of time. Time's up. It's time for war. It's time for war. It's war. We're at warfare now. That's it. Talking done. Talking the fuck done. Now that's my advice. And if you want to take it, take it. If you don't want to take it, that's up to you. But too many people are fucking talking, fucking screaming into the void and not preparing. Oh, but I've got to get out my emotions. Yeah, while you're getting out your emotions, the people at the top of the pyramid are getting out their rage constantly. Take your rage and actually use it for more than just looking like you give a shit. Actually, no, that's not aimed at T.I.s. That's aimed at everybody else, but you get the picture. But T.I.s, yeah, prepare yourselves. Do not while you have health and strength, prepare yourself. You're going to be bombarded more than ever, especially during winter. You're going to be bombarded with directed energy weapons more than ever. You're going to be bombarded with psychological warfare more than ever. You're going to be bombarded in ways to make you feel unsafe more than ever. Flip it round, make the perps feel unsafe. Because we've seen what it leads to when they feel safe, when they feel comfortable, and when they're not scared. We are literally walking into fascism right now. That's what happens when the perps are not fucking scared. That's what happens when the perps are not fucking scared. We have fascism. Trump is getting ready to build a fucking ballroom. You know who else built a ballroom? Hitler. And do you know who's building the ballroom for Donald Trump? Defense contractors. For mass surveillance and reserved artillery or reserved weaponry, most likely. Probably the directed energy weaponry that T.I.s have been complaining to Trump about. This is exactly why I'm saying if you're not a Trump supporter, you're not conservative, none of that. Fucking dip. Save yourselves. Leave the dead to the dead. It sounds ruthless, but that's what you got to do. Anyway, I gotta go. Peace and blessings. Bye. Well, hopefully peace can come, but things are going to get worse before they get better, and we need to be prepared for that. Okay. Peace. Bye.